something remarkable has been happening over the last few decades. Ancient religions, once thought to have faded into history, are experiencing a remarkable revival. Across Europe, North America, and many other parts of the world, increasing numbers of people are exploring paganism, heathenry, druidry, Wicca, and other nature-based spiritual paths. For some, it's simply curiosity. For others, it's a reconnection with ancient traditions. And for many, it feels like coming home. But why? What is it about these ancient belief systems that still speaks to people living in the 21st century? Today we're exploring some of the reasons why paganism and heathenry, etc., continue to grow in popularity, and why so many people are rediscovering paths their ancestors walked centuries ago. A deep respect for nature. Perhaps the strongest attraction is the relationship these traditions have with the natural world. Many modern pagan and heathen traditions see humanity not as separate from nature, but as a part of it. The forests, the rivers, the mountains, the oceans, the changing seasons. These are not simply resources to be consumed. They are part of the living world that sustains us. Many practitioners believe caring for nature is both a practical responsibility and a spiritual one. By comparison, some interpretations of the Bible have emphasized humanity's dominion over creation, drawing on the book of Genesis. Other Christians interpret that same passage as a call to responsible stewardship, caring for the earth because it ultimately belongs to God. The important difference is often one of the emphasis. Many pagan traditions begin with humanity existing within nature rather than standing above it. For many people today, especially in an age of climate change and environmental concerns, that perspective feels deeply meaningful. Living with the seasons. Modern life can often disconnect us from the natural rhythms of the world. Many of us spend our days indoors. We barely notice the changing seasons. Pagan traditions encourage people to reconnect. The winter solstice, the spring equinox, Beltane, Glückhansstad, harvest festivals, the longest and shortest days of the year. Rather than treating these as ordinary dates on a calendar, they become opportunities to celebrate the Earth's natural cycles and our place within them. A relationship with the gods. One aspect of heathenry and paganism is many people find appealing is the relationship between humans and the gods. In Norse mythology, Odin, Thor, Freya, and the other gods are honoured and respected, but they are rarely portrayed as demanding and questioning obedience. Instead, the myths often show gods and humans learning from one another, making mistakes, overcoming hardship, and growing through experience. Many modern pagans see the gods as guides and inspirations rather than distant rulers. They admire Odin's pursuit of wisdom, Thor's courage, Tyr's honour, Freya's strength and independence. Rather than seeking perfection, these stories encourage growth. Stories instead of rulebooks. Many ancient pagan traditions teach through stories rather than long lists of commandments. Thor teaches courage. Odin teaches that wisdom often comes through sacrifice. Balder reminds us of hope. Tyr teaches integrity. The stories invite people to ask questions rather than simply memorize answers. For many, that makes the myths feel alive. Personal responsibility. Modern heathenry and paganism often places great emphasis on personal responsibility. Your reputation, your word, your actions, your hospitality, your courage, rather than expecting someone else to solve life's problems, the focus is often on becoming the best version of yourself through your own choices. Honour isn't something you're given, it's something you earn. Spiritual freedom. Unlike many organised religions, modern paganism has no single worldwide authority. There is no single leader speaking for every pagan. Different traditions have different beliefs, different rituals, different interpretations. For many people, that flexibility allows them to explore spirituality while still thinking for themselves. A welcoming community. Another reason many people are drawn to modern pagan communities is their reputation for being for inclusivity. Many contemporary pagan and heathen groups often welcome people regardless of gender, sexuality or identity. As a result, many LGBTQ+ people have found a sense of belonging within these communities. Of course, no religion or community is completely uniform, and there are different views within paganism just as there are within Christianity, Islam, Judaism and other faiths. However, many modern pagan organisations actively celebrate diversity and encourage people to explore spirituality without feeling that their identity excludes them. For many people, that welcoming atmosphere has become an important part of paganism's modern revival. Respect for different paths. Ironically, one of the things many people appreciate about modern paganism is that it often encourages respect for other beliefs. Historically, polytheistic cultures frequently recognized that neighbouring peoples honoured different gods. Many modern practitioners continue that spirit by accepting that different people may find meaning through different spiritual paths. Rather than insisting there is only one road, many see truth as something people can seek in different ways. Reconnecting with heritage. For some people, paganism is also a way of reconnecting with their cultural roots. Whether those roots are Norse, Anglo-Saxon, Celtic or another ancient tradition, learning about the myths and customs of earlier generations creates a sense of continuity with history. It isn't about recreating the past exactly. It's about understanding where we came from. Authenticity in an artificial world. Modern life is faster than ever. We spend hours looking at screens, scrolling social media, reading emails, watching notifications appear every few minutes. Many people feel increasingly disconnected from the natural world. Pagan traditions often encourage the opposite. Walk through a forest, sit beside the sea, watch the sunrise, listen to birdsong, light a candle, watch the stars. Whether someone believes in the gods or not, many people find these simple moments deeply grounding. In an increasingly artificial world, they provide a sense of authenticity that many feel modern life is missing. Finding meaning. Modern society has given us incredible technology. Yet technology cannot always answer life's biggest questions. What makes a good person? How should we live? What do we do? What do we owe each other? Ancient traditions encourage people to think deeply about these questions, not because they have every answer, but because they encourage the search itself. Why is paganism growing? While paganism and heathenry remain minority religions, they have grown steadily over recent decades. Books, podcasts, festivals, academic research, archaeological discoveries, and perhaps most importantly, the internet. For the first time in history, people interested in these traditions can connect with others across the world. Knowledge that once required specialist libraries is now available to everyone willing to learn. Communities that once consisted of only a handful of local practitioners have become global conversations. That has played a huge role in the revival we see today. Why does it appeal today? Ultimately, paganism revival isn't simply about returning to the past. It's about asking timeless questions. How should we treat the earth? How should we treat one another? What makes a life honourable? What qualities should we admire? How do we reconnect with nature in an increasingly technological world? These questions matter regardless of which religion or no religion we follow. Conclusion. Paganism and heathenry are not growing because people want to abandon the modern world or recreate life exactly as it existed 1,000 years ago. Instead, many people are rediscovering values they believe remain relevant today. Respect for nature, community, personal responsibility, hospitality, honour, courage, wisdom, inclusivity, curiosity, a sense of wonder. Whether someone is pagan, Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, follows another faith, or has no religion at all, these values have the power to speak across cultures and beliefs. Perhaps that is why ancient traditions continue to inspire new generations. Not because they belong only to history, but because they remind us that we are part of the natural world, responsible for our actions, connected to one another, and always capable of learning from the wisdom of those who came before us. Maybe that is the real revival, not simply the return of ancient religions, but the return of ancient values that still have something meaningful to teach the modern world